Hello everybody, welcome back to Motorsport Manager. Third race of the 2021 season, our first in endurance racing. And we had a great time last time, easily crushing all opposition in the Black Sea, taking the lead. Now we've got to see if we can extend that as we move forward further in the year, and the reliability of our competition's parts will, I'm sure, improve. Just finished the brakes, we don't want to forget about that. Let's go ahead and design another one. So, here, and I think here, plus 40 to max. So this is just plain better. So we get all of those, and of course we need one more to do it even more. Oh, that improves the driver's skill during the race. Interesting. We're not going to go that high though. So we're going to do the 500K here, and then we're going to move on to other parts, maybe come back to a second good brake, or brake this good anyway, later on. $14 hours, not nearly as much of a problem as last time. Sure. Matthias Beck demolished the competition. Coming too predictable. And I'm going to say it's fine. 14 pit stops. Fastest pit time was 12.5 seconds, only because we had to come in because we screwed up. And then, of course, there's our brakes. Let's take a look at our pit crew. We really want tire performers. Oh, yeah. Fortuna, you're coming. And Pujol, you're also coming. Those two for sure. Who are we going to get rid of? I think we're definitely going to get rid of Harvey. And we've got two 19s on refueling. And one of you two is the backup. I'm going to give it to Delaby, which means Ramdane is gone. Okay, bring in these two. We're down to 541K. We've already used up almost half of that reserve that we got from the sponsors. I think I'm going to keep these two around and get rid of you. So now we can do some better things. We need a replacement here on the rear jack. You've got to sit. Let's see, do we have anybody better than 18? We do not. So Gomez will come in. Our fixers are fine. We need a new refueler. And then tires. You're the only one who has to sit. Let's go and put Granier out there. And we'd like to get you out of there for purely performance reasons. Fortuna in. And then, do we have better than a 17 with that low a stamina? I think I'd like to keep you in reserve because of the jacks. We'll put you out there. You've got better stamina. Okay, so we're still first, but we don't have all of our top people out there, which, of course, is going to happen. Car repair and sponsors. Might as well go and take a look at this right away. Now, we have the one boost for 7th or above. That's going to last the rest of this year. So we're probably looking at something else. 2nd or above, we can get a lot more. 16 races. Yeah, I mean, this one is just plain better. 12 races. Fixed pay. This one is just better, period. So we're taking it. Okay, now, financially, that puts us just about even. And that's without the sponsor bonus. So now the bleeding can finally stop. Well, it won't completely stop. We're probably going to spend more on parts than we have coming in. But now we're in a more, traditional race-to-race productive glide path on the cash. And then we have 2 races before you come out 3 and 4, and so we'll be getting more of these in later. We could be making a good amount of money by the end of the year, in theory, and we really can't get above 4-star without improving our HQ, which we're not going to do. So our marketability can't really usefully get any higher for us. All right, so Tondela, gearbox and the nose. The nose is spec, and the gearbox is a part that we don't have that great of. We want to work on getting these engines out there. And then I'd also like to get this brake. Can I get all of those? 12 days after the race. So we're going to get them 2/3 of the way there, which means we're going to get them up to 80% each. That should be just enough. I think that's what we're going to go with, and then get that brake going as well. We'll get small gains out of the engine performance, but we'll get these 2 engines and that brake out on the track. And that should really be a good boost for us. Now the engines, again, not that much, somewhat of a boost. The brake won't be a huge boost for us right away either, until we get the performance boost in there. But any little bit is something that we can take. And yeah, everything's at 80, over here is at 80% or higher. So we're going to stick with that. And we have to decide what we're going to design after the brakes, but don't worry about that till the brakes come in. Changing ERS battery size is the next vote. Voting season is always fascinating. It defines the face of our sport for years to come. Okay, and Romain Dubois says it's coming now. It's about using 60 kilowatt batteries. I'm going to say I don't care. And we got 2 against, 4 undecided, so it's probably not going to come our way, or not going to be implemented, I'm going to guess. Dubois goes for. Williams against. Against, and now it's going to fail. Yep, 3-2 failure. Much fewer votes, of course, in this system. Okay. So it was rejected. Next up, do we want to restrict points to the top 8 instead of the top 10? Not sure that I'll bite on that one either. Not that important to me. Okay, and we're gradually improving there. Brakes are done. And we're going to wait on working on those brakes at all, simply because we don't have time to get them ready, especially with the lowered reliability for this race. But who is next? We've done brakes, we've done the engine, we've got the gearbox and the rear wing. Gearbox needs more attention for sure. It's a little bit more expensive and takes a little more time, which is another argument I think in favor of doing it now. Well, that's not a huge amount, but we've got a couple good ones up here. So we'll get there eventually. And Cashola going negative. Tondela, 3 miles, a little over a minute and a half. Bicolis have the best gearbox. That's going to be key. We're going to have problems. Soft, medium, and hard. And the track is quite abrasive. Awesome to see us kicking so much ass when it comes to the top speed. So they're liking the improvements we've made to the engine. Bicolis expected to do well. We're expected to finish around 5th. 5th out of 6? No way. If we do that bad, I'm going to be upset. Concerned about the money. If you look at our sponsor deals, you'll see we're headed in the right direction. I've got to keep improving the car this early in the year. That's a must. So that's just going to happen. 3 days till the race. We're moving right along. Probably will hit about that 80% mark. Very little gain over here, but that's what we expected. We're not giving them any help. Gearbox is in. And let's design a new one. One of these. And one of these. That'll be $1 million. And then Yep, we'll do another one after that. Burning through that money. So if the chairman didn't like the finances before, what's he going to think now? On the other hand, this one's peak is about 60 points better than what we currently have, maybe 10% better, and we're going to be seeing a lot more movement in that direction. Okay, so we are ready for Tondela. 82%. There it is. I'm just going to leave everything as it is for now. And let's get these out on the cars. Engines. Each group will boost up. And then brakes. You know, I mean, it could go either way. We'll just... you have a slightly better one now. So we'll go there. That figures them to finish 8th and 7th, which last race we're actually supposed to pick to finish 9th and 10th. So even though we didn't improve the gearbox, we did improve other elements that will help us on the track. Let's get out there for practice. Take our one sponsor. Tire selections. It's going to be warm, warm, warm. So I think we're probably going to want to go with either medium or hard, and we're going to need a bunch of softs for qualifying. I'm going to say mediums last the right amount of distance. The temperature is going to be better for high. But I think it's going to be about distance. And I can always... from now on, I'm just going to save it at this point so I can always come back here if I need to once I pop into the practice screen. Because I don't really have the necessary information here to make that decision. So I think 8, 6, and 1 should give us what we need. We'll make... Nope, 8, 6, and 1. I'm sticking with that. Part fitting, we already did that. So let's get out there. All right, so let's work on this. So they said the track's about 1.5 minutes. Maybe it's closer to 2 minutes. So if we take a look at our tires. Okay. I think mediums are the right ones. They're going to last us just long enough. I'm going to guess. You get 65 laps. Laps are a little less than 2 minutes. Yeah. I think medium was the right choice. So, Mueller and set up preferences. Lots of downforce. Start at 7. Go a little bit more oversteer. Mediums it is. Car 2. I don't remember which one I had in there. I think it was Goddard. A little more oversteer here as well. And I think a bit more acceleration. Switch you to mediums. And away we go. Race trim for sure. Both of them have to switch. Shouldn't hurt us too much. And weather. looking pretty dry. It's going to be 27-28, so we'll see how our tires react to that. I think they're going to warm up. Probably warming up, but not severely. So the temperature shouldn't be a huge problem. Goddard wants more understeer. This shouldn't be too complicated. Go around, get our race trim, then get our qualifying trim, and then call it a day. More downforce also for Goddard. That's kind of surprising on an acceleration-focused track. Mueller is happier with it. Wants more downforce and more acceleration. That would seem contradictory, but what do I know? Some on softs, some on hards. Only 3 of the 12 cars going on mediums. And again, I think this is one of those areas where I've got the advantage because I'm able to pick the right tires and the AI not quite so perceptive. So we're coming in here, and yeah, I should have put one car on 8 laps probably, but we have lots of time. We're only a third of the way through the practice session. Alright, let's slow this down. Make some adjustments here. What does Mueller have to say? We'll keep him on race trim mediums. Let him finish that out. Pretty good. 87%. We're going to want to boost this up. We'll go to 7.5 on those and see how that goes for him. Let's go with a little bit more oversteer. A little bit more acceleration. And this is probably a little high. You know what? I'm just going to go with it. See what he says. Goddard says, I hate your downforce. Noted. 65%. And he wants it higher. So let's crank it up. Let's see, 6.6. Go to 6.8. And the acceleration, I think, is there, but yeah. Let's try that. And you are going to switch to qualifying. And soft tires. And of course, Mueller not going to be out there very long before he switches to that himself. Both drivers looking like they're driving pretty well. Of course, there's 4 others back there in the pits, so you never know how well everybody's going to turn out. Form seems to be less likely to make a big difference. Handling's worse, he says. But form seems less likely to make a difference given the fact that we're sporting 6 drivers instead of 2. Any one of them being particularly good or bad doesn't seem to matter as much. Alright, now we're going to switch to qualifying. Soft tires here as well. Let's check in on how we did. Went from good to great on downforce. We need a little bit more. The handling got worse, so we need more understeer. Probably more acceleration. Okay. Let's get that first. That's a little bit further up, not much. And yeah, that flipped down lower again. Let's go even higher. That's really high. Let's go maybe there. Yeah, let's try that. It's a long stop. But you know what? We really do have the time. Goddard liking the handling. There they go. Finally back out there, and it's time to max out our next set. Meanwhile, our overall position in the practice appears to be pretty good. Level 1 race trim, almost 12 minutes to go. And Goddard will be coming in to take a look. We haven't seen him as much in the pits so far, so probably a good thing to check out his setup anyway. Better, but not there yet. 93% is a lot better than 65, though. Stick with the same tires and everything, but went from very poor to good. And I don't know if that's too high, but based on what they've been saying in the other car, probably not. I'm going to just go more in these directions. So we'll go to 7.3. A little more well, nope. A little more oversteer. A little more acceleration. That's too much. Maybe I pull this back a little bit. Yeah, that's probably about right. It's at least worth giving it a whirl. And here comes the rain. Boy, I'd like to outlast it. Really like to outlast it and not switch to inters until we've hit level 3. But honestly, it's qualifying, it's soft tires. We'll go around one more lap and that's it. Well, Mueller has to come in anyway. And Goddard will as well. We should be able to max out the qualifying on inters, no problem. Just won't quite get there on the soft tires. So if it's dry during qualifying, which I assume it will be, that will get us our little bit of not being quite as good as one would hope. Only 94%, but we nailed the downforce. Got a couple of things to adjust. Okay, so very poor, good, and excellent. Okay, great, good. We need to bring the handling back. And maybe bring the acceleration back a tad. But the handling has to come back more towards the understeer side, so. And maybe that's the tad we need there. Maybe we just need to do that. And Mueller is ready. What's it say? 99%. Beautiful. So you simply switch tires and go. Just have to get Goddard perfected and we're all set. We shouldn't have any trouble getting the qualifying trim. So I'm just going to go ahead and bring Goddard right back in until he is where we need him to be. Which may even happen here. But yep, there we go. What say you, Zane? You say close but no cigar. 97%. Okay. So, that's great. That's good. This is also great. Even more understeer. Great. Great. Even more understeer and just a tad more top speed. Which goes together. Boy, that's very little. Let's just do that little bit more. See what that does. This is probably too low. We'll deal with that later. So, this could be one of those where it's just going to be finicky, and it's going to be hard to get it right where it needs to be. And he doesn't really have enough time to come in and make any more changes. So, let's just zoom through the rest of this. Looks like we will get level 1 inters. And Goddard locks up on the last lap of practice, which is awesome. So, yeah, we're up close to the top, although that, again, doesn't mean a whole lot. See if we can carry this over and have a good qualifying session. And we got another fan saying I'm not spending enough on my cars because we don't think we did well enough in practice. We actually did pretty good. Dial back on the hate there, buddy, just a little bit, Marlene Clay. Muck and Mueller for our first car. Castelli and Goddard for the second. This, of course, is our drivers for qualifying. And 15% and softs. We're looking good for the weather early on. And of course, we don't know how long it's going to stay that good. But we'll go ahead and get out there. And okay, so we're set here. 99%. And then we need to adjust this. Only at 95%. But we only need to fix the handling, so that shouldn't be too difficult. Okay. Great. Good. Great. And back to good. So we need between here, and that was too low, and here. Here. And here. Okay, so we need more oversteer. And that is close, but not quite enough. And that'll bring it back this way. So if I go there, I think what I want to do is go all the way down there and then bring that back. See, where is that compared to... Yeah, that's still better. Okay, that's what I think I want to do. Bring that back in line. Okay, so we're going to give that a whirl, and if that's not right, it's going to be really, really close. I can't see that being below 97, 98%. So let's head on out there and see what we can do here. Muck. And get yourself going. Get up there. I did not want to wait that long, but oh well. Castelli out there. Thalia. Always a bit of a tricky pronunciation for me. My mouth simply doesn't want to make that work properly. Let's see if we can get some strong times here to start things out. That's good. So that seemed to be a decent time interval. I could have probably even tried to get him a little bit closer. And I'm thinking probably, like, I may even try to, with the weather as it is, yeah, looks like it's going to stay good. I may even try to get 2 sets in with each car. Just change tires and go, switch drivers, change tires and go. So Muck definitely happy with his first time, although we'll have to see some of these others come in. He's still looking better. Castelli, yeah, we're looking pretty good compared to the others in our division so far. Well, not the best now. Second and fifth. Just speed this up a little bit. Get back in. And yeah, we're not gonna make it in. I think we're gonna be able to do 3 laps. We're not going to quite be able to get in, I don't think, 2 with each driver. So I think we'll just go out for another one. And then the second driver or whatever will have to not do quite as many. We could, of course, wait a little bit of time to improve the pace, but I'm more concerned with just making sure we don't run out of time later. There we go, 99%. So our setup is right on, having 99% for both cars, an excellent thing. So we'll see if we can improve this at all. I like those multicolored ones. I'm not sure which team that is. Might be one of the A-class ones. There it is. One more to set up. And we'll see if we can improve that first time at all. Castelli not exactly winning any awards with the form, but still managed to be much faster than the others on that first lap. I'm going to go ahead and speed through this because the main thing right now, Muck is doing well. Not as good for Castelli, but she can handle that first time. Like, and he likes what he saw there. Got slightly ahead of hers. And then now you can see everybody falling backwards because we don't have... All of that will correct itself to some degree once we get our second driver out there. And now we're coming in. There may be a chance, but I don't think we're going to get the second try for these guys. We're just going to come in and go out and go then, though, just in case we have the chance to make that happen. Almost didn't switch drivers to Goddard. That would have been bad. So Mueller only at 4, but Goddard at 6.7. Alright, slow this down and make sure that we're where we want to be on our temperatures. The more I look at the time here, I think we are going to actually fit in the 4. That would be great to have 2 runs at it with each driver. Come on. There we go. And now after we complete these laps, of course, we will know roughly where we stand. It won't be last. At least I doubt very much it'll be last. It could be. We're doing particularly badly. Looks like Brendel just set the best time out of anybody overall. But Mueller, not particularly bad. Just off the pace. And actually now just ahead of the pace, and so is Goddard. So we're feeling pretty good about that. Happy with that, and indeed, it's good enough to just barely put us in first. And of course, this session really is all about the money. Yep. Wow. Less than a thousandth of a second difference. And this is going to be close, because we've got to change tires, get back out there, and almost a 2-minute warm-up lap. And ultimately, does it really matter? Probably not that much. We're going to do it anyway, though. We are going to do mediums for the race. Yeah, and I think he's going to make it. Goddard's going to be closer. And I don't think Goddard will. See, 144. Nope, no chance for Goddard to make it. So I'm going to send Mueller out. I'm going to hold Goddard in the pit because there's no way that he gets there. And I think Mueller will just get there. So 3.5, because Mueller will get another shot at it. And he's not far off. He would not have to improve his time much to catch them. But in any case, we're going to be in the money. And that's really the primary, if not only, concern here. There we go. And we'll see how much time we have to spare. I'm kind of curious about this. Not much. Yeah, and there was definitely more than that gap there, 12, 13 seconds for Goddard. So he would not have made it. And this is the final try, so we're either going to finish second and third, or we'll move up to first and third, and either one of those will be just fine. Mueller off of his previous pace, so it's not looking good. His form is better, but, oh, well, maybe, I don't know. That could be good enough. And no, he did not get it done, but losing that pole position literally by 0.005 of a second, that would indicate we're more competitive on this track than we're supposed to be, which is all kinds of excellent. See the gap less than a second from first to last. So it should be a competitive race in that, determined by strategy, which is excellent for us. Has a beautiful ring to it. Never thought of it that way, but I'll take the compliment. Time to try to extend our early season lead in Tondela. So it would appear the weather is going to cooperate at least at first. There's no sign of it not. And we're going to go with the medium tires and the race trim. That's what we put our strategy into. There's no reason to change it now. And they say soft, I say medium. And that's considerably more tire than we need for a stint. I hadn't completely thought about that, but here, you see 52 to 55 minutes. That's not enough. So really, we need all of that tire. So even though I sort of mentally miscalculated a bit, I believe it's still the correct option. And yeah, we're going to start with Muck, Mueller, and Negrau, as usual there. Now for the fuel. I do not remember exactly how much I reduced it by last time. Let's see. It's a 50 lap. Well, let's use the tires as a bit of a guide because they say, yeah, I think their estimates here seem to be based off about 1.5 minutes a lap, but it's going to be longer than that. Let's say it's 150 per lap. We're definitely going to need more than 40 laps of fuel, and this only says, you know what, I'm going to stick with 50, and then we'll adjust it based on how that first session goes. It's close enough. I don't feel like knocking it down would be, I think it'd be a little too risky. And I don't feel like we need to go for broke here. I feel like we need to start solid and just sort of let the race unfold. There we go, and of course we're going to stay neutral. Let everybody else go crazy at the beginning, that's fine. And 7, 5, and 6, above average forms for that car. And over here, good overall, but Castelli not looking great. And I'm a little iffy at putting her on the start even with that. But she does have that fired up at the beginning. We're going to stick with it. And there's our rolling start. Watch everybody take off. There we go. Let's just go ahead and get through this. Okay, we are underway at Tondela. And of course what we're looking for here is the same thing we're always looking for at the beginning, which is where are we going to use our power boost. And this turn here with the, the starting line, not that big. Muck has fallen way back. We've got all kinds of tires out here too. That's interesting. But I think I want to start using this back area. And Castelli, we'll go ahead and let you go first. So where are we going to boost this at? You're only 20th. Oops, that was short. Okay. We'll try muck this time. I'm gonna have to get used to this. This one is not super obvious, and I don't like the fact that he's in last and that she's slipped down there. But I think a lot of that may have to do with simply the other cars going more aggressive at the beginning. Right here is that first little section. And then right as soon as they come out. You know, I think I may want to boost for that whole thing, even though there's a little bit of a slowdown there. So, obviously not the best start for us. And, oh, I missed it. Do it on the next lap, but we really need to start using up some of this boost. But, you know, I'm feeling like this could be a rough track for us. Even though we did well in qualifying. We'll see, though. It's too early to really get upset about it. You can see there's a bunch of cars right above Castelli. Right ahead of her, rather. And there we go. Yeah, that's probably... I like that. That's probably not enough of a hitch there to really worry too much about it. Let me try alternating the drivers on that then. See if we can get some gains. And you can see the other drivers continuing to drive much more aggressively than we are. They're ahead of us. But, you know, how long will they be able to sustain that pace is the question. She pops up a couple spots to 21st. There we go. And we'll switch back. Looks like we're going to need to do quite a bit of boosting here to get this down. And I feel like maybe overall we're starting to make some progress. I think I just sort of have to get used to the fact that we have that part right at the beginning where everybody drives more aggressively, and then it just sort of peters out. So I don't really know like what our pace is or anything just yet. And we also probably will be able to go more aggressive on the tires later on, but the temperature is going up, so I just sort of want to let that temperature slowly go up. Let's make a couple passes here if we can. And now the Class A car's starting to show up. Muck up to 21st as he hits his fired up state, and I'm not a fan of Castelli's form, even though she's the one that's up further in the pack. About 20 minutes in, we're middle of the pack at best, and yeah, I didn't boost there. So I don't want to miss too many more of these. I want to do a 2.4 form now. Still battling for position. Not able to get more than up to 19th. You can see, okay, the top 4 have really broken away. Whoa. Muck with a drive-through penalty for causing a collision. That's not good. Yeah, he's going to have to come in. Okay, let's ride with Kesthelyi, but that's really going to hurt us. He's going to be last by a goodly margin. Okay, we missed her. Missed him as well. We're going to need to... Shoot. Just use a little bit there to burn it. And Kesthelyi still 19th. Does appear, if anything, though, to be gaining ground on the cars directly ahead. Can't say that about Muck. And, oh my goodness. We're just getting him... Wow, he's made a pass on some people, even though... Did other cars have to do a drive-through penalty or something? Any case... I feel like I'm holding those boosts a bit long. That's really the only spot on this track that's even decent, though. So I think I've just got to keep hitting them. And I don't think there's going to be a lot of opportunity. There may be some later. But I don't feel like there's going to be a lot of opportunity to go to the 12 times speed acceleration. Yeah, about there. About the best I can do. So 22nd, 19th. Feel like we're settling into solid performance, but again, those top 4 well ahead. We're probably need some good strategy here to surpass them. And Muck pulling up into 22nd position. Working on the next car up. But overall, we were like 23 seconds behind. Now we're down to 20. So I feel like we're slowly narrowing that gap. And of course, we're only half hour into the 6-hour race. So... it is not like we have a huge amount of time that we have to be worried about. And yeah, see, now I'm back to 23. So that just seems to... the gaps in terms of how far behind, it's partly because of using the time acceleration, but it just really seems to shift a lot. Not always easy to tell if we're catching up, falling behind. And Muck seems to just get up there to 21st. May or may not hold it. He's got a little bit more energy, though. I'm going to give him another run at it. And we're about halfway through now, this first stint. And pretty similar results. Getting by, but not huge. And I'm kind of amazed that Kesthelyi is doing better, given how abysmal her form is. We certainly don't seem... we've gone enough now. Seems clear we don't have the pace of the top cars, which is unfortunate. I do think I have too much fuel, though. It looks like I'm going to want to be down to about 40 laps of fuel. So that'll help some. We'll be faster in the stints the rest of the way. Not sure how much it'll help. Muck in 20th, though. And then slipping back down to 22nd, so there's a lot of flux there. Yep. Down to 21st. Looks like we're going to be aiming for a middle of the pack finish if we don't get some strategic edge in the pit stops. Speaking of which, we have one that's happening here too soon. So that's, yeah, the ones going on softs. Those two teams, they just handed us a couple of spots. We'll see. There may be more opportunities down the road. Come on, get by. Yeah, I guess Thelya needs to get out of my way. Could potentially have dueling. He's got better form. I'm going to run him all the way down on the energy and try to get him a better lead instead of doing a back and forth thing where they each pass each other every lap. I don't think that's going to be very helpful for us. Come on, get it done. And I don't think that I want him to run again. Down to 1.4. Why are you pitting this early on hard tires? I don't know. Maybe the other cars... The other thing is, I've noticed the other cars in past races, I just remembered this, seem to be doing a lot better, and I wonder if they run with less fuel at the start and go for an early pit. Because I don't feel that that is actually a great strategy. But I seem to remember that happening, and then after the first pit stop, us getting better. So, we'll see. Thelya going by. I think I'll run her one more and then come back to Muck. And the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to push now. Use a little bit of that, and then I missed a lap, but we'll get it on the next lap for the boost. And the temperature, if anything, is going to go down. So, yeah, definitely want to push. Get what we can out of these tires. Okay. And that's good enough. We'll go the rest on neutral. We may get into the red a little bit. But even if we do, that'll be fine because we've got plenty of tire to spare. It'll just overheat it a bit. And I missed it again. Not doing that enough to cause any serious problems anymore, but still too much. I think I'll do one more with Thelya and then switch again. And yeah, we're a minute off the pace already. And we'll hit at least 2 in a row, maybe 3 for Muck. And of course the cars are close enough together. Need to be a little bit careful about what we're going to do on the pits. No sign of the weather changing just yet. Nice pass to have without having to use the aid of the speed. And we'll even stick with it for one more. Definitely want Muck to come in sooner because he's feeling the worst for the wear in terms of fitness. So maybe I'll have him come in just before and have her come in just after the 1 hour, 12-minute cutoff. Hit it a little bit late there again. And again. So I'm definitely having issues with being focused enough to nail the power boosts at the right time. And let's see, I'll stick around for one more. I'm not sure if that's right. But I will stick around for one more lap, and then we'll come in. It looks like 40 laps of fuel is going to be plenty, so that's what I'm going to stick with for the rest of things. Go. Alright, now Muck, you're going to come in, switch places to Muller, switch to another set of mediums. Still no reason to do anything else. Fuel options. And I don't even think we need quite 40. We're using 30 to... yeah, 35 even should be enough. I'm going to go with a solid 35. And then I also think I want to... park condition is fine. Eat gads. Definitely safe. Don't want to take that high of a risk of a mistake. And now she will come in. Let's get Goddard out there. Fresh tires. Let's see, where was she? It was going to be... yeah, lower on fuel here. I'm going to go up to 40. Got to watch that a little bit closer. 'Cause I don't know why there would be such a difference. Okay. Goddard comes out just ahead. Hit a little bit late, but I want to get his power boost used up. Well, no, I can't do that. Mueller needs to fire his or he's going to overflow. Maybe we'll just alternate here, keeping Goddard ahead. Even with the fired up there for Mueller. Just got into it, actually. Still a few remaining to come in for the stop. We need to watch the fuel here because I'm going to be interested to see how that comes out. We definitely, though, are not making up much ground here, and it is not really looking good. With no significant weather changes, may not get much of a break. This may just be a bad race for us. But it's weird that we would qualify as well as we did and then all of a sudden have this kind of an issue. There's Goddard now in the zone, fired up, as it were. And only one team left to come in. There they go. Goddard keeps, bringing up the challenge there and then can't get by. What on earth? That was a bad mistake. I hit the wrong... Yeah, wrong time, wrong car, wrong everything. Did get by Chang temporarily, but... So, yeah. The team standings, we would not be looking too good. Dragon Speed is not having a great race. But we still need to move up. Or else we're going to be behind the 8-ball in the championship again. And it looks like that's what's going to happen. I don't see... Like, the overall distance, maybe we're gaining slightly. I don't think we're gaining much. So it looks like this is just going to be a really difficult track for us to compete on. If we can even move up a couple spots, though, we could potentially be in the mix for the lead, but that's not a good place to be in when we came in up front, so... Goddard is driving well, and Mueller pretty well. Maybe we'll be able to reduce the fuel even further on later stints. Maybe not. I'm thinking probably not by the looks of it. Might have been better to be closer to 40 than that 35 that I took for Mueller, because that's, I'm sure, helping his speed, but you've also got to make it around the distance. I'm not sure if we're gradually moving up or not. It's definitely not looking great, though. And all of a sudden we lose a bunch of time there to the leaders, who are almost 30 seconds ahead. So we don't have to worry about Brundle. Brundle's going to win, fine. We're gradually working down our power, though, and we really seem to be in a very competitive group. Finishing on top of this group would be huge. And I have a feeling that maybe we can do that given enough time and enough work. Let's see how much Mueller can bring this down. We might actually be able to do some more accelerated time. Yeah, not for a long time, but let's bring it up. Maybe up to 60% or so. Let's just see what happens to our situation. 20th and 22nd. We've fallen back a bit. Now 21st and 22nd. We definitely need those boosts to stay competitive. That is a lesson being repeatedly learned here. Okay. We're almost to the 1/3 point. Almost 2 hours gone at Tondela. We continue to fall off the pace, but so does everybody else. Brundle is just destroying the field. And while Goddard remaining in contact there, I think maybe he can eventually get by those two places. We move up a spot or two with Mueller. We do have the best pit crew in the land. I do still think we have a shot at, say, a middle of the pack finish, which right now I would take. No, I'm actually not sure you have enough. It's going to be close. I may have to back off the fuel just a bit at the end. I think Goddard does have enough. So I think between that 35 and 40 might be the best spot, except for with Negrau. Because Negrau is going to be able to... he's going to want to fire that engine early and often. I'm going to want to be closer to 40 with him. Yeah, these slightly early pit stops I think are going to favor us. Depends on how many they end up taking overall. We are still a few seconds behind these. Now, Chang's tires are not looking good. Surprisingly burnt. I feel like Jorg and Comte up here, like we're just not quite fast enough to keep up with them where we might have been able to before. Okay, there's a pit. And that's about 20 minutes or so before ours. I think it's time to go push on the tires again. Not for a huge amount of time. But again, we're going to use that extra that we've got there. Whoop. And we'll go ahead and take another run with Mueller. Seven laps. Maybe it's got 11. Yeah, let's back off to low for a bit here. Goddard almost passing Compton despite that speed boost there. And I think it's time to go neutral. Alright, let's make this happen now. Start gaining back some more. Yeah, I think I want to stick on low for a bit longer with Mueller. Just seems to be necessary here to get where we need to be. There's Goddard again trying. I think we got by that time. Accelerating past Compton. And I think I want to stick with Goddard, actually. It's only about 3 seconds back up to York, and then it's like 20 seconds. So we probably are looking at that spot. That would be for 5th. Yeah, and I'm really glad I turned down the fuel because I don't think I'm getting that much back for Mueller. Let's see. He's going to need to come in next time. But I'm going to keep Goddard out there. Yeah, okay, Mueller went out first, so he'll come in for the next lap. And then Goddard will stick out there a little bit more. I think that's the right plan here. You can see Goddard's going to have a little bit extra fuel. There we go. And now we'll bring you in. And we'll switch to Negrao. And we're going to want plenty of fuel. Egads, I didn't think you were going to get totally out. Nonetheless, I'm going to bring him back up to 40. I'm thinking like 37, 38 laps of fuel for the others, but I'm going to give him 40 because you know he's not going to be nice to it. Yeah, and as much as I'd like to go with the 3 second gap, I feel like we got to be safe. Just don't have good enough pit crew to not go in that direction. Ran out of fuel just before the line. Not too terrible, but still I don't like running out of fuel. I think Goddard wants to even stay out there for one more. Yep, you're fired up. You're going to do whatever the heck you want. Except for the speed burst, of course. Now it's time for Goddard to take a seat. Bjork with some very nice form. Kasthelyi, not so much. And that really hurts. I may even want to alternate Bjork and Goddard. If she doesn't improve her form, I think I'm going to do a second stint with Goddard and Bjork. And if she doesn't come up, just leave her there because that's just terrible. Okay, so fuel options. Let's go with 37.5. There we are. And then where's Negrao? He's actually going cautious on the fuel. Why is he going cautious on the fuel? Why is he being an idiot? It's interesting, some of the other drivers waiting even longer than us, and that's not the usual deal. And now he's going all nutso for it. Yeah, whatever. So we are currently 8th and 10th. Of course, once again, our Brazilian badass there complaining about his own driving. Negrão, nonetheless, trying to make his way, and does make his way by. I think we're ready for Bjork. And the gap between our drivers, or cars rather, still remaining very small. Which is not so great for the logistics of doing the power boosts. Now he's out of that, so go neutral and conserve to get those tires down a bit. Yep, Bjork is next. Okay, now we're going to accelerate again. Still in 8th and 10th. Well, up to 7th and 9th now. Oops, let's bump up those tires to neutral. There we go. Now let's drop out and start doing some more boosting. Still got a couple cars yet to come in for pits, and we're 6th and 9th, I believe. And as I pause to consider that fact, missed another lap, so now we really need to get this done. Okay, now Brundle, race leader, is going to come in and pit, and that'll close all of these time gaps. But overall, the ones around us, I mean, we seem to be pretty well laminated into position, unfortunately. Well, Negrão could come up, but I don't think we're coming up from 6th. At least not without some major major change. So that would leave us, yeah, in a very competitive, like second place, a few points behind, a very competitive 3-team race there. That, interestingly enough, does not involve Bicolis. So, yeah. This season really could go any way, it appears now. Although, again, there's still lots of time left in this race. Half the race to go. Remains to be seen how all of that will shake out. So far, though, Tondela is looking like our worst race of the year. Nobody has had to do any repairing, and I'm sort of halfway assuming that nobody will really have to do a lot this race, but if they do, then that will boost us considerably, of course, and could end up looking more positive about things by the end of it. McGraw, 4.4. Not happy with that. And Bjork is now fired up. And we have somewhat closed the gap by a couple seconds, maybe. Not a whole lot on Graves. He'll get some more done here. The question is, will it be of lasting import? While McGraw trying to work on Gonzalez and Rojas. And frankly, Guerreri. I mean, there's a lot of cars not that far ahead, and he doesn't have a huge gap on Tongue behind either, so very open question where he slots in by the end of his stint. But yeah, Gonzalez and Rojas, okay, are fired up, and he's already gone through his fire. Okay, so we're kind of behind there, really, when you get right down to it. Bjork driving well, but I still don't see him making up much ground here. That is 5th instead of 6th. And we're still losing this race to Dragon Speed. Let's see. And to CEFC, but they're really going to pull even with us, it appears, on current placings. McGraw right there behind Gonzalez despite the fired up deal. I'm liking that. Caldarelli there, of course, he's discussing the Class A driver that I'm actually not concerned with. Bjork again making some headway. Can he sustain it? Or is it just a temporary boost while he's fired up? Well, Graves is fired up now too. Actually, several drivers in the fired up zone. There's just a lot of fast laps being turned in at the moment. Over halfway through this third stint of the race now, and just over halfway point of the entire race. Of course, as I typically do, the third stint, the lone one for these drivers, I actually like to run it a little bit long. I'm not sure I threw him enough gas to support that, so that'll be interesting. But that just gives you a little leeway with the primary drivers to make sure you don't overrun their allotted time. Less than 10 seconds now, Bjork behind Graves. So I'm really liking how that is shaping up presently. Not so much this here, as Negrão is not making progress at all. And that gap is now down to 7 seconds plus. It was at 20. And Graves now out of the fired up zone, using the boost now. So that will have an effect, but still, yeah, it's up to 10 seconds now. Boy, using a really long boost. Up to about 11. We still made significant gains, and the fired up zone is not over. Negrão now looking to make the pass. Can he get by Gonzalez? Not quite. But then follows through on that next turn. Beautiful. Down to, let's see, about a 9-second, a little bit more. And Bjork's got a little bit of energy here to burn. Gets it down to 8, so we could be moving up there, and of course, every stop that we get, every position we get rather, on the track is going to be huge. And we'll get more and more here with Bjork, and then we'll probably boost things a bit. Let's go ahead to push with him on the tires. And here comes another pit stop. That'll give us some temporary gains. Alright. Let's move things along. Negrão will be the first one coming in. 3.8, not good. Bjork, 7.7, was at 8. But you can see the gap there, not much. So he's really done a great job chasing down Graves for us. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Back to neutral. Okay, so now we need to chill out. Let's... You know what? Nah, I'm going to stick with neutral. I'm not going to go back to conserve. Because the temperature, I don't think requires it. Nope. Temperature is just getting cooler. There's Negrão getting lapped and then going by again himself. So what's our gap here? Well, it's extended back out. It was at about 2 or 3 seconds. Now it's about 7 to 8, but we've got some energy to use to try to reel it back in again. So, at the very least, Bjork has put us into position to be competitive for not only 4th, but 3rd. And actually 2nd isn't even that far ahead of there, so that car could be doing something in this race. On the other hand, there are 3 cars who have taken a 3rd stop. We have not. Don't remember if any of them were up in that zone. Missed that there with Negrão. Few more laps for him. We'll go ahead and push. Yeah, I don't think I brought enough fuel to really... You know what? I'm going to go neutral and low with both drivers now. Because I just want to stretch out these stints a little bit. I think it's important enough to do it. I think they're also separated out enough. Okay, we missed that one. But they might be separated out enough in terms of distance to nail them both on the same go-round. Nope, not quite. Let's see. Oh, we definitely need to stick with Negrao there. I might be able to hit it if I switched immediately. Yeah. That's what I want to do. Use that to warm this down. Now, we don't have much time left. Negrao, okay, you're going to go back up to medium. Let's see. I'm going to stick on low here with Bjork. Negrao gets up to 19th. I'm going to have to look at this pit situation. Yeah. I don't have any choice but to, well... Let's hang on a second. Just over a lap. Where are we at on the track? Yeah, that's too much. If I keep him on low, though, he should be able to get close to it. So he could wait till the next lap. But then... I've got to bring in Negrao this lap that he's on. They're far enough apart from each other on the track, though. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. We're going to pit Negrao. And yeah, I could go with either driver here. Let's go with Mueller. I like him a little bit better. We can bring him, we'll want to bring him on a slightly long stint, then leave enough time for muck at the end. So we'll switch again to mediums. $37 parts I think are still fine. The gearbox would take 47 seconds. Yeah, we want to avoid that if at all possible. We're frying our gearbox here, though. And then safe. Bjork. Well, you're not going in yet. I think we're going to have just enough fuel to get around again. And if I'm wrong, I'm going to feel stupid. And yeah, you might very well not. Okay. Let's see, let's switch. Gotta swap the driver out, and boy. Castelli, you're still not cutting it. We're gonna switch back to Goddard, even though he's not quite gonna have full stamina. I don't think there's a choice. I mean, yeah, it says we're gonna be out of fuel. Great. 37. Recharge. Safe. Well, let's still go with a speed burst here. Oh, yeah. I was on the wrong car. Cooler comes out. Run out of fuel right there before pit lane. That's not too bad. It's not good. but it could be worse. Okay, so here comes Mueller around. And Goddard is not doing great by any... No. Go medium. Not doing great, but he's just avoiding the worst issues. Now, about our gearboxes. You're at 40%. You're at 47. I may very well want to back off that entire last... the last section. Last stint is what I'm trying to say. Just to save that gearbox. We'll see. This is at 40% now. Let's see what it looks like at the end of this stint. Hoping Mueller can pull us up some, because this is pretty bad. And yeah, we're hoping to do the back-to-back here now. Goddard. And there is indeed enough gap between the cars to do it. So whatever happens the rest of this race, we should be able to speed through it more quickly and get in some 12 times time acceleration. Goddard currently in 7th. Alright, and we'll boost it around for a while. Probably, given the situation, probably take this up to around 70% or so. Coming up on the 2-hour mark, 2/3 of the way through the race. And yeah, I'm not sure where we're going to end up. There's a lot of flux to it, but I still think overall roughly middle of the pack seems to be about as good as we can hope for. Oh. Mueller was just a little bit further into things than I thought. Both drivers fired up, and that's not going to hurt us at all. So I think we pass Rojas when they come into pit. And so that gives us 5th and 7th. Oh, good grief. That was horrible. Then we could also catch that. At least 4th is still very doable. Burned all the way through Goddard's energy. We've definitely got to stick around here now with another lap on Mueller. Yeah, he's right behind here, and there comes a couple more pits, including that one. It's going to move us up. And there we are, 5th and 7th. Missed it again. Unbelievable. So 4th and 7th seems to be like the optimal targeting for me. And yeah, we're only 1 point behind Dragon Speed right now. We could actually end up having a fairly neutral race, maybe even retain our lead. Maybe. 2 hours left almost. Lots of things could change. Alright, let's do one more back-to-back set here if we can swing it off. Still relatively early, maybe a third of the way through this stint. Only got a partial there, but it'll do. Okay, 4th and 7th we are. We have made that pass. Not out of the question we could get up to 3rd, and that should give us retaining the lead. I'm not sure if Mueller's car can move up at all. And then, of course, we lose this spot. So this fluidity here, 3rd to 5th. And after about 4 hours of racing, they're like even. So that's going to be a lot of back and forth. I think continuing there, possibly up till the very end. And of course they're going to warn us about the driving time. And warn us about the other driver's driving time, but it's about time to slow down anyway. Alright, so we are 5th and 6th. But I think we move up from there. Yeah, and they're too close together now. Mueller has made some sort of gains here, so I need to be... Let's see. Let's just burn a little bit here. So I need to be splitting this up again. And there's Goddard right behind Roussel. Try to make that pass at least. Really should be able to here. Don't know if it lasts, but they're having mechanical issues, so that should help us. Speaking of which... Okay, yeah, we've lost at least 10% here. So I think we're going to plan on a little bit... Oh, there's a retirement that doesn't help us. I think we're going to plan on going low for the last stint and a little bit less fuel. I don't know if that's the right response versus repairing it, but I think it is. Not able to catch back up. I feel like we've got too much fuel again for some reason. Went with 37 laps, basically, both drivers. catches up close to him. Looking for room again. Putting the pressure on the, how should we say, the mechanically challenged vehicle. Yeah, and I think we're going to be okay on Goddard's car, but Mueller's definitely is not going to be okay mechanically. Both drivers at about the same time. And they're too close to pit at the same time. And we'll see if we can stay ahead this time. I think I would like to pit Goddard first. Now in the red. Now both of them in the red. Goddard is hanging on to that spot and about 4 seconds back of, well, I say that and then he loses it. And still doesn't gain it back. So that's a constant battle, and as long as that's a constant battle, we need not worry about Ferrucci further up. And there we are. We're actually 1 point ahead, so we seem to be gradually improving relative to Dragon's speed as the race goes on, but much to do yet. And hold on. Goddard is here. And yeah, neither driver is going to make it all the way around again. I don't think. Minute 19. Hour 19. How are we? Oh, wait. No, I don't have to go in yet. It's 2:24. Not... I'm thinking it was 2:12. Okay, yeah. Nobody's coming in yet. We actually don't even have to worry about it that much yet, because I had my brain off on where is that gap. Oh, and I left the power on Mueller. Fantastic. Okay. Well, got it. And Mueller has caught almost all the way up now to these cars. There was like a 15-20 second gap before. Very nice. I think I send Goddard one more time. We seem to be clearly ahead of Roussel now and going after Ferrucci, but it's still a 4-second gap. Okay, let's definitely push. Yeah, let's just leave this for now. I just want to bank the energy for now. Alright, let's have Goddard first, and whoa, all the pitting, and we're all of a sudden up to second. We're not going to stay there, but it's nice. Okay, let's switch back to neutral. Let's have Goddard pit after the next lap. And then, goodness, 2. Only 2. Okay. Bjork is at 8. I'm going with Bjork. Sorry, Vivian. You just did not have it today. So that should be enough there. No part repairs. And I'm tempted to go here, but I'm not going to do it. Then Mueller should have just enough time to come in after this next lap. I might be cutting it a little close here. McGraw or Muck? And even though Muck's form is not great right now, I'm definitely going with him. Switch tires. Let's see. Just going to drop the fuel down a little bit because we're going to be going low. Yeah, I don't dare drop it down any more than that. Okay, so that'll be our final stop. And Bjork coming out to try to finish this off and get us on the podium. Goodness, I hit the wrong driver again. Where is Mueller? Get in there. Because you are really, really long on the car. Okay, so yeah, you'll be at 2:22 about on Bjork. So we're going to make the cutoff there. We'll make the cutoff for both. No. I did not want it. Okay. Focus. Hit the wrong thing, but we still should be okay as long as I hit this when he comes back around. Yeah, he's right behind. I can't hit both of them on the same lap. I need to hit a few consecutive boosts here to get this back in place. We're going to be right at, yeah, literally 98%. But we're still 4th and 6th right now, and we got lots of power to burn. Oh my goodness, I forgot low. Now we've got a repairing going on. But again, let's not get too cocky about that because we may have erred in not repairing ourselves. 24%. I don't think we did. I think we keep it on low, we can survive it. But I'm not sure. Okay, we're 4th and 5th. And Milner is very much a target. Could be 3rd and 4th. And after the way much of this race went, I would not at all complain about that kind of a finish. Starting to edge down our battery life. Boy, Muck right behind. Be nice to create some distance there. Three seconds there. It is, that gap is actually extended. They're on slower tires. We shall have to wait and see. I like having an 8 or 9 second gap there. Plus, they may have to go in. Less than an hour. Let's get this job done, Bjork. Let's get it done. And now he is... Oh yeah, with repair issues there, we should make this pass. He's fired up. All of that working in our favor. And now we're a few seconds further behind. Oh, because random, I guess. I really want to get that position, frankly, with both drivers. And now, Muck can go as slow as he wants, pretty much. Because we can see, like, he's already going minimum speed, of course, for the wear on the car. But you can see the gap here, like 40 seconds. So we are 4th and 5th. The only question is whether we can move up from there. All right, now we would lose a small bit of our lead, and that's it. Move up another spot. Maybe we even expand the lead. Maybe. Bjork at 9.2 and fired up and still can't make this happen. It's close. It's really close now. And Muck now in the zone, and he's up to 5.6 as well, so... Okay, here we go. We're like half a second behind. We're staying right behind Milner now. So maybe this is the point where we get that pass. Still over half of a battery life. Boosted up to a 2-second gap. And we closed it up again, but could not get by. However... Yep, and now Milner's boosting away. Let's see. Milner with now slightly less energy than we have, but it's also back up to a 4-second lead. I think we're going to get that, but I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, I mean, look at the top 3 teams there. All so competitive in this race. And trying to close down that gap again. Got it to about 2 seconds. But we're starting to run low on power. Russell went wide. Must have been a Class A driver. And Bjork, well, a little over 2 seconds. And barely holding off the charge of Muck there. That's interesting. Is up to 10.0. 10.0 and fired up is all you can ask for. He's about to lose fired up, though. But making a charge here. 1 second, going after it. And I don't know if we'll keep it this time, but we got it back. Third position. And now Muck going for it. Again, not much of a gap. Interesting to see our two cars this close together. There we go. Makes the pass without help. And he's doing all this with, you know, not investing in the gas at all. Just over half an hour to go, and I feel like we're now pretty well locked into position. I don't see us finishing anything other than third and fourth. It could happen. Want to stay on top of everything. But I'm happy with this finish here. Let's get another one for Muck the next time around. Yep, and that does actually make us race winner by a single point. We would like extend our lead by 2 points, I believe. So it would be really a photo finish in terms of the overall team competition in the race, but we would have that very small edge. Okay. So now with half an hour left, we are in the red on Muck's gearbox. I still think he holds it out. And I don't want to let the battery power get away from us because, of course, we're getting close to the end here. Under half an hour remaining. Ooh, we got some people pitting. And yeah, they're on softs, but on the other hand, we're just behind them. And driving a 10.0, I might add. That continues to not hurt. But I still don't think that we passed Peroto. Peroto is fired up. He's got faster tires. Unlikely. Real unlikely. And Muck now fading a little bit to Bjork there. Coming around here, and we are just over 20 minutes from the conclusion of Tondela. Yep, and we're still losing time there, obviously. So, just makes it a closer third, more or less. Dragon speed has moved up a bit. Could actually take the race win and win it by a point. Either way, I mean, this is looking very, very competitive. And I feel like with our part development, I'm hoping we can just later in the season just pull away. But the early part of this here, the top three teams, oh, look, CFC improving as well. So it looks like we're just the three teams separating from the rest of the pack, and who knows who really comes out on top of that. If it keeps up this competitive, which I don't think it will, that could be very fascinating. And we started off early in the race. The other thing that's interesting to me, we started off early in the race. They did go an extra pit stop. We're the only team that's actually going to finish the race on 4 stops, which is excellent. But we started off, the 1 minute behind, and up and down since then, but we're ending up 1 minute behind. Bjork still driving perfectly. And still unable to close it. We'll go ahead and push here. See what extra we can get out of the tires. Still at 18% on that part. 32% here. And no point in Muck trying to go faster either, because he'd only be passing ourselves. There's no issue there. We're locked into position. So I think I was probably on the right path. Frankly, I would have probably had time to fix it too. Either one could have potentially worked for me. Final 10 minutes, just about here in Tondela. Yeah, 15-second gap, it's just growing. So we can say goodbye to any of that nonsense. So I believe we are entirely locked in position at this point. Just keep using our speed bursts and wait for the end to come. Gotta hand it to Bjork, though. I mean, he's normally the third driver here, but he's really done an excellent job. 10.0 driving these last bits. Even though he didn't really need to be that excellent for most of it. Still, doing extremely well. And you see Bjork now almost down into the danger zone of his fitness. He's pretty worn out. But on the other hand, we're in the final minute. Everybody boost. And there's Sims trying to get back on the lead lap. There it is, locked into 15th. We actually have to wait to finish. Of course, the time is frozen. There we go. So everybody happy. Especially Brundle. Third place CFC TRSM taking the lead. Or taking the win, rather, not the lead overall. Couple of drive-through penalties. We had one of them. And we come in third place. Everybody went 986 kilometers. Second and fourth for the drivers. And that's enough for first. So yeah, I think we lost this race by a point. Went down from a 7 to a 6-point lead. And it continues to just tighten slightly at the top, but clearly it's a three-way race. TRSM there is on our heels, but not quite up with us in Dragon Speed. Did we look strong? Hashtag contenders. Toyota won. How did we finish third? That's not good. In any case, pretty solid driving from car number 1. No improvements. And on car 2, Castelli driving like horrid, but still the only one seeing improvements. Great driving from Bjork. Pretty good from Goddard. We make our financial goals, and all of a sudden we made a profit, cutting into that debt that we have acquired. So the season very much still up in the air. We'll be heading off to Munich next time and trying to pull away here. And it wouldn't surprise me if we started doing that in the second half of the year. We've probably got a little more work to do first. But I definitely don't want to count my chickens before they hatch. There's a lot of season to go, only a third of the way there, and anything could happen. So it'll be off to Germany next time. Till then, thanks for watching. More Motorsport Manager will continue.